All right, we're diving straight into one of the most critical parts of the entire CDL manual, what to do when an emergency hits you on the road. These are those high-stakes, split-second moments where knowing the exact procedure can literally be the difference between a close call and a total catastrophe.
So let's just picture this for a second. You hear that explosive bang, the whole rig jolts, and you feel that sudden, sickening loss of control. What's your very first instinct? For most people, it's to slam on the brakes, right? Well, the CDL manual says that could be the absolute worst thing you could possibly do. So today, we're going to unlock the official playbook for two of the most dangerous situations a driver can ever face: responding to a crash scene and fighting a vehicle fire.
First up, let's talk about your crash response plan. Because when chaos hits, having a clear practice plan, well, it's everything. Let's break down exactly what the manual demands of you.
Now, this quote from the manual is so important because it flies in the face of every natural instinct you have. Your gut is screaming, stop, but your professional training has to kick in and take over. See, it's not just about stopping the truck, it's about keeping control to prevent an even worse accident from happening right after.
This 4-step plan right here, this is your script. And listen, the order is absolutely non-negotiable. Step 1, you get your vehicle to a safe spot. Step 2, you protect the area before you do anything else. You get those flashers on, you get your triangles out to stop more vehicles from piling into the scene. It's only after the scene is safe for you and everyone else that you move on to notifying the authorities and then finally providing aid. This whole sequence is designed to minimize harm, and it's precisely what a CDL examiner is going to expect you to know cold.
Okay, let's zoom in on that last step, caring for the injured. The manual is super specific here. Your job is to give essential first aid, stop any heavy bleeding with direct pressure, keep the person warm to fight off shock. But the don'ts are just as critical. You never ever move someone you think might have a neck or spinal injury. You could cause permanent paralysis. And if you're hauling hazardous materials, your number one priority is your vehicle and that cargo. When in doubt, the safest, smartest move is always to wait for the qualified medical pros to arrive.
Okay, let's switch gears. We've covered crashes. Now let's talk about our second major hazard, vehicle fires. And you know what they say? The absolute best way to fight a fire is to make sure it never starts in the first place.
Just look at this list. It shows you just how many of these fire hazards are completely within your control. Underinflated tires, faulty wiring, improper fueling, these are all things that a really thorough pre-trip inspection and just, safe habits are designed to catch. Every single item on this list is a reminder that being a professional driver is about preventing emergencies, not just reacting to them.
But what if prevention fails? What if you're faced with an actual fire? You've got to have a plan. So let's walk through that step-by-step procedure right now.
This is a huge one. Your first thought might be, I need help. Let me pull into a service station. The manual is crystal clear. Do not do that. You would be taking your vehicle fire and potentially turning it into a massive gas station explosion. Your job is to find an open area away from buildings, trees, other people, other vehicles. The goal is always to isolate the danger, not to multiply it.
All right, now for the actual technique. You want to stay as far back as that extinguisher will let you. And here's the key. You aim directly at the base of the fire. That's where the fuel source is. Just spraying the flames themselves might look dramatic, but it's totally useless. It's like trying to stop a leak by wiping up the puddle instead of plugging the hole. You have to attack the source. Of course, using the right technique doesn't mean a thing if you don't know your equipment. This table breaks down the different types of extinguishers. For most commercial vehicles, the one you really need to know is the ABC multi-purpose extinguisher. Think of it as the workhorse. It can handle the most common types of fires you'd face. Regular combustibles, liquids, and electrical fires. Knowing exactly what's in your cab is absolutely non-negotiable.
And here's a really critical warning specifically about tire fires. These things are incredibly deceptive. They're so dangerous because they can burn from the inside out and then reignite long after you think you've put them out. So even if you don't see any smoke or flames, the heat trapped inside can be just intense. The manual is emphatic about this. A burning tire must be cooled down completely. Never, ever assume it's out just because it looks like it.
So there you have it. We've covered the official, by-the-book procedures for both crashes and fires. Let's wrap this all up with what I think is the single most important takeaway from all of this.
And really, it all boils down to this one question. Memorizing these rules to pass a test, that's one thing. But truly internalizing them so they become your automatic, instinctual response under extreme pressure, that's the real goal.
It's about building a mindset of safety, of awareness, and of complete and total responsibility every single time you get behind that wheel. Because that's what separates a driver from a true professional.